summer 2025, we're wrapping up, and it's either the summer to remember or the summer to forget, depending on the situation that you're in as an investor. On the real estate side, things are a little bit slower than we kind of expected and anticipated. I'm with Director of Business Development, Alex Curry for 360 Blue. We're kind of talking about data, and I think that's the most important thing that we can do is educate a consumer to make informed decisions. I'll talk about the real estate side, he'll talk about the rental side. But Alex, thanks for being here, and what's your thoughts on summer?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. I love your shirt, by the way.
Appreciate it, like the gray.
Yep. So yeah, this was an interesting summer, to say the least. We're still in an environment where supply of lodging options exceeds demand. That was particularly notable last year. But we weathered the storm pretty well, this market. We got a lot of last minute bookings. I think lifting our minimum length of stay very early in the year benefited us greatly. Being flexible to what the consumer wants. And also getting creative on the marketing side, partnering with influencers, partnering with the Rob Report, being featured in People magazine. All these things really helped us from a booking perspective. Overall, we're down a little bit in average daily rates. Similar theme with the market. However, we were up in occupancy, which is it's exactly what we expected. It was our strategy. We knew we were in a softer market. We knew we were going to have to be nimble and be flexible and make some adjustments in real time. And that's what's put us in a position today to where we in fact actually outperformed ourselves in RevPAR compared to same time last year. And for any viewers that don't know what RevPAR is, it is the balance between average daily rates and occupancy, which are the other two very important fundamental key performance indicators we look at when we're evaluating the performance of a portfolio. So RevPAR is ultimately the gold standard. That's what we really prioritize because that's often the path to getting an optimal return on investment. Minimizing wear and tear and use on the property, commanding the highest nightly rate possible, which is what every homeowner wants.
For sure.
So the strategy has paid off, and we're ahead in RevPAR compared to same time last year by about 3%. So whether it's 1%, 10%, if you're up in RevPAR compared to same time last year, it's something to celebrate. It's a good story.
So when you're looking back at summer of 2025, obviously it's a mix of all these different the influencers, the average daily rates, the kind of extended amount of time, or the shortening of the time.
That's
What's
right.
the minimum stay that you guys are operating at right now?
So we lifted our minimum length of stay to 3 nights for summer very early on in the year, which was an unprecedented move. I remember when I was a property manager prior to this role, you always worked Saturday to Saturday. That was the standard. This summer was an exception. There were a lot of check-ins throughout the week, so it wasn't necessarily all hands on deck Saturday to Saturday to handle those arrivals and departures.
The turn days are totally different now on the real estate side too.
They are, yeah, I'm sure.
And I would say, looking at the real estate market, I think we're in a very similar situation. It's where we're both seeing such an influx of supply and not significant amount of demand. But one thing I want to talk about, because we haven't seen it on the real estate side yet, is actually the decrease in the number of short-term rentals.
Great question.
On that a little bit?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So we've seen a slight decrease. In fact, January to July, we saw a decrease of 2% in the active vacation rental units in South Walton, which is substantial. And we'll see if that trend continues, but I'm encouraged.
From your perspective, obviously it's better.
Yeah.
If you can bring that pool down a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
What would be the ideal from like a benchmark standpoint? What is our county used to? Like, is there like a 2019 number or trending somewhere, something like that?
It goes back to, and I don't have it in front of me as far as nights available. As far as the sweet spot in terms of supply, that's a very difficult question to answer. But I can say number of visitors in the summer. Last year it hit right around 2 million, which the last time it was that low was 2018. So I think that probably serves as a good benchmark in terms of number of visitors to the area. If supply can come down some,
for sure.
I think you're gonna get a healthier balance between supply and demand. What I'm encouraged by is I feel like we have hit a stability point.
Awesome.
you know, where we can, it's not just this perpetual decline in all KPIs year over year for the past couple years. Really since towards late 2022 is when the decline started, but it seems like we've stabilized. I mean, we're ahead of where we were last year in RevPAR, which is a strong indicator to me that we've stabilized.
It's crazy to think that 2018 was 2 million visitors.
2 million visitors.
Versus where we're at in 2025. So a 7-year difference. We saw a hike where people couldn't travel internationally
That's
during
right.
the pandemic.
Yep.
So then we had a rush of influence and money being poured into our county.
Yep.
Now we're getting back to that 2018 number, which I think is super interesting.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of the consumers that know about 38 now didn't know about 38 in 2018.
Yeah.
So super interesting. If you're watching this and you're an influencer, come get with us, because I think that's one of the most creative marketing stance that we can do right now.
Oh, 100%.
As we kind of talk about what we've seen, you know, the most important thing for anybody watching this is we want to mention their community and say, hey, you're going to do all right, right?
Yeah.
What's the top 3 that you're kind of seeing? I know we kind of talked about it last time.
Sure.
But now that summer's wrapped up, that's kind of, you know, outblowing your expectations.
Yeah, great question. So, community-wise, most communities are flat or maybe a little down compared to same time last year.
Yeah.
But there were 3 communities that stood out to me in terms of RevPAR performance. Dune Allen at number 1, which, that's leading number 1 right around 10%. You have Watercolor coming in at number 2 around 6%. And then close third place is Seagrove Beach, which kind of surprised me. Dune Allen, you know, my theory on it is you got new product coming online, bigger and newer homes that are more appealing to the consumer, and I think that's lifting your average daily rates and RevPAR as a result. Watercolor being a planned community, it's historically always been a strong performer, so that didn't really surprise me. Seagrove was a bit of a head scratcher a little bit at first glance. I would have expected a planned community to be in the top 3, not just one planned community being Watercolor. My theory on it is just I think there's those homes that are closer, you know, there is West Seagrove closer to Seaside, and you get that Seaside effect, and I think that's helped bolster rates as of lately, and that's I think what's kind of lifting Seagrove overall.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the overall popularity, because typically when people think of 30A, like I have buddies that call all of 30A Seaside. Right?
Yeah.
Those are what people know, and it kind of seems like they're going outside. Obviously, Watercolor as a master plan community, you can't really compete with those amenities.
Yeah.
But if the amenities are super important, Dune Allen being a little bit on the quieter side, where you can get probably a better daily rate and a bigger house than compared to something like Alice Beach, Rosemary.
Yes.
I'm curious, because I know we talked about it yesterday, number of bedrooms.
Yes.
Right? When we're working with buyers, one thing I want to mention too is yesterday we were talking, and anything over $3 million, if you look at 38 East, anything over $3 million, if you're looking at 100% of sales, 95% of those were in master plan communities. So we're talking about Watersound Beach, we're talking about Rosemary, we're talking about Alice. So it's super important to kind of talk about, hey, not only what are we looking on the sales side, what's actually moving the market, but also from a rental standpoint, where are the hot spots?
Yeah.
The hot spots are going to constantly change. But one thing we kind of noticed a shift in are the number of bedrooms too. Because we typically say like 4 to 5 bedrooms is probably a sweet spot, but you're kind of noticing something different.
Yeah. And that's super fascinating too about the number of transactions, you know, just an overwhelming majority being in planned communities currently. As far as bedrooms are concerned, something that was eye-opening to me was 9-bedroom homes leading the way in RevPAR compared to same time last year. That blew my mind. Because historically, to your point, I've always said 5 bedrooms is a good sweet spot whenever I get the question of what's the optimal layout, right? But the data's telling me otherwise this year. I'm seeing 9 bedrooms at number 1, ahead by 18% in RevPAR, which is wild.
It's crazy.
8 bedrooms is a distant second place at 7.4%, and then 7 bedrooms coming in at 6.8%.
So what I'm hearing is, if someone's watching this and they're a buyer, connect with me. We'll find a 9-bedroom house. And then we would connect with you. And that's the best formula possible.
I think it's a great formula. Also, location is key, though. You know, I've really tried to quantify what the average daily, because I get the question a lot. You know, what kind of average daily rate can I see if I'm close to beach access versus not close to beach access? And that's something I'm continuing to research and dig into. It's just tricky to quantify because it's seldom you can find a good apples to apples comparison. However, one filter in key data that's been useful, that's a good source of information for me as far as market data is concerned, is looking at homes with golf view versus non-golf view, which is a good indicator of where you are relative to beach access. And in summer, I'm seeing some pretty impressive differences between homes with golf view versus non-golf view. RevPAR substantially higher. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but it is substantially higher. You're looking at a RevPAR of 405, whereas for a golf view property, non-golf view property, you're seeing a RevPAR of 316.
Wow.
I mean, that's 100 points almost in RevPAR, which blows my mind. I mean, that's a pretty significant difference. So, highly encourage, I mean, it's no secret you want to be closer to the beach, but if you're looking at what kind of RevPAR impact can I expect, that's what you can expect. And same with ADR. ADR is pretty substantial as well. I mean, ADR is going from almost 100 points as well, from 400 to almost 500 a night. So you can expect almost $100 more a night in your average daily rate if you're in close proximity to a beach access.
Wow.
So
yeah, I think it's pretty amazing. As a buyer, if you're out there considering the 30-day market, and you're seeing this influx of supply, the biggest thing that you can do if you're looking from an investment standpoint, obviously location can be a factor.
Location's key.
Having a golf view in any case, having that as a picture, I think is the overall demand for something like that. That's why people are coming to the beach.
Yes.
Right? And I think it just really comes down to, once you connect with us and we're analyzing these different properties, connecting with Alex and saying like, hey, these are the top ones we're considering. From your standpoint, it's always better to get a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because we only know so much with our data and everything that we have, and to be able to partner like this, I think is always amazing.
Of course.
As we kind of look into this latter half of 2025, going into 2026, is there anything that you see that's exciting? Do you think it's going to be a little bit of a lull period, or do you think fall break's going to be pretty hot this year?
I think fall break's going to be hot this year.
Okay.
We're ahead right now in RevPAR. We're ahead in average daily rates. Occupancies about flat compared to same time last year. Maybe we're slightly behind. I anticipate occupancy to go up with some last minute bookings. Average daily rates will come down. RevPAR may come down a little bit, but I anticipate a stronger fourth quarter fall break for us compared to same time last year. And I'm optimistic about 2026 as well. I do believe we're in a period of stability. The market's starting to correct itself. So with that, you can expect more reliable rental projections. It was kind of, on one hand, it was great a couple years ago, because you were getting these very high rates, but it was also kind of tumultuous a little bit, when we're going through that decline. You're projecting something based off the information you have at that point in time, and 6 months later, if you're just seeing, continuous decline, it's tough to hit that projection, and of course that can be disappointing to an investor. So I feel good about where we are today. It's a more stable market, and I think we're going to have more predictable rental projections as a result.
Yeah, I love to hear that, obviously.
Yeah. And it's important to note this is all aggregate data. So, some homes are up, some are down.
Right.
And, I think it's important as an investor to look at just, of course, like what we talked about as far as layout, location, but also any kind of amenities you can help make your home unique. Whether it's a pickleball court or a cold plunge, or, just little things to separate yourself from the rest of the pack.
For sure.
It could be something as simple as just accent colors throughout the home, maybe even in a powder room. I know that might sound not significant.
It's like an eye catcher.
But it's an eye catcher. Sure. It's these things when I'm a guest and I have a gazillion options to go through. What's going to stand out to me, right? So.
Speaking of eye catcher, your new bikes, 360 Blue bikes, amazing.
Thank you
they
so
look
much.
Really good.
Thank you. I
really
appreciate that.
Super glad you're optimistic going into this next season, because I remember when we try to do one of these once a quarter, kind of reflect on the last 3 or 4 months, and it's always interesting to kind of obviously get perspective like this, but put it in a way where people can actually watch it, comprehend it, But if you guys have any questions, what's the best way to get in contact with 360 Blue?
Management at 360blue.com.
Awesome.
Yep.
We'll have it linked below. We'll also have it right over here. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, always let us know, and we can't wait to see you here at the beach soon.